place the patient on a cardiac monitor. Give calcium, hypocalcemia to ha. Okay. Administer calcium supplements orally or intravenously. When giving calcium intravenously, warm the injection solution to body temp before giving and give it slowly. Okay? Pwedeng rapid infusion kasi baka mag-atake yung pasyente niyo. Monitor ECG changes, observe for infiltration o yung lumalabas na out na pala sa vein, kaya napunta na doon sa gilid yung tawag dyan, solution, yung medication na binibigay ninyo. And monitor for hypercalcemia. Why? The patient is being treated for hypocalcemia. Pag nasobrahan ka, pwedeng mag-hypercalcemia yung patient ninyo. Give medications that increases calcium absorption. Okay, antacid. Okay? A very popular antacid that we give is aluminum hydroxide. Okay. Aluminum hydroxide, aside from decreasing the production of hydrochloric acid by the parietal cells of the stomach, it also reduces the phosphorus levels. Okay? Ito yung kabaligtaran ni calcium naman. So, kanina kung may sodium and potassium tayo ngayon, ito naman, calcium and phosphorus. Okay. When calcium goes in, phosphorus goes out. Yeah. Now, aluminum hydroxide reduces the phosphorus level, causing an increase in the calcium levels rather, then giving of vitamin D. Ito naman yung kapartner niya. So, it facilitates absorption of calcium from the GIT. Provide a quiet environment to reduce environmental stimuli and initiate seizure precautions. So, ano yung seizure precautions na sinasabi niya? Lower down the bed of the patient, raise the side rails. Okay? So, always have someone, okay, sa tabi ng pasyente just in case mag-seizure. An update. Okay. Dati, pag sinabi seizure precaution, you prepare a padded tongue depressor. Ngayon, hindi na ginagawa yon. Okay? Yung nilalagay, o yung ibang kutsara, sabi pag nagsisissure, lagyan ng kutsara para daw hindi magkagata ng ipin. No, hindi na siya ginagawa ngayon. Update. So, ano na lang gagawin? Pag nagsissure yung pasyente, turn the head of the patient to one side to prevent the pooling of saliva, which may cause aspiration para tumulo na lang yung saliva sa gilid. Okay? So, yun yung mga seizure precautions. And have a suction machine, an oxygen at the bedside. Okay, so para pag nagsi-seizure kasi, nagle-lessen yung oxygen delivery to the brain. So after the seizure episode, oxygen. Okay, as prescribed by the doctor, by the physician. Move the client carefully and monitor for signs of a pathological fracture, like what I have mentioned kanina. Okay, so pag kulang si calcium natin, again, kulang yung deposition sa loob. So, pwedeng magkaroon ng pathological fracture. Keep 10% calcium gluconate available for the treatment of acute calcium deficit. Calcium gluconate, that's the drug, the medication of choice. Okay? So, and instruct the client to consume foods high in calcium. So, tingin dyan sa box, dyan sa right side of your screen. Okay, now for hypercal, more than 10.5 naman. Okay, 10.5 milligrams per deciliter. Hypercalcemia. So causes an increase due to an increased calcium absorption from the GIT, either excessive oral intake of calcium or excessive oral vitamin D intake. Decreased calcium excretion in patients with kidney disease and the use of thiazide diuretics. Okay? So, thiazide diuretics can cause calcium retention. Okay? Potassium excretion, calcium retention naman ang effect niya sa calcium. Increased bone resorption of calcium like in hyperparathyroidism. That's what I told you a while ago. Hyperthyroidism. Calcitonin. Okay, effect ni calcitonin. Malignancy. Okay. due to bone destruction from metastatic tumors, immobility, use of glucocorticoids. Yung mga hindi gumagalaw, hindi ma-absorb yung calcium papunta sa buto. Hindi ma-deposit yung calcium papunta sa bone. So what happens is that naiipon sa blood, hypercalcemia, and the use of glucocorticoids. Hemoconcentration due to dehydration, the use of lithium, and adrenal insufficiency. So these are the assessment findings that we have talked about earlier. Okay, monitor all of the systems that we have mentioned. Discontinue IV infusion of solutions containing calcium and oral medications containing calcium or vitamin D. Discontinue na. Thiazide diuretics may be discontinued and replaced with other types of diuretics that enhances the administer medications as prescribed that inhibits calcium resorption from the bone. So like, ano yung mga gamot na ibibigay na to? Calcium resorption, yung paglabas ng calcium from the buto. So these are the medications that prevents the exodus of calcium from the bone. Phosphorus, calcitonin, biphosphonates, and your prostaglandin synthesis inhibitors like acetylsalicylic acid, aspirin, and NSAIDs medications. Okay, so pag mataas si phosphorus sa blood, hindi lalabas si calcium inhibitor. Calcitonin, hormone. Okay, calcitonin promotes calcium deposition, okay, in the bones. Same with biphosphonates, okay, and yung ating prostaglandin synthesis inhibitor. So they are the medications that you can expect to be given sa pasyente natin. Prepare the client with severe hypercalcemia for dialysis if the medications fail to reduce the serum calcium level. So, pupwersahin ng ilabas the dialysis yung patient. Move the client carefully, monitor for signs of pathological fractures, monitor for flank or abdominal pain, and strain the urine to check for the presence of urinary stones. That's one of the complications, okay, that we can see in patients with hypercalcemia. Kasi pwedeng magbuo yung calcium, di ba? It can form stones or urinary stones. Avoid foods high in calcium. So, a client with a calcium imbalance is at risk for pathological fracture. So, you have to move the client carefully and slowly kasi masakit. At saka baka matwist ninyo yan, magka-fracture palalo yung pasyente. And assist the client with ambulation. So, in hypomagnesemia, the magnesium level is lower than 1.3 milliequivalent per liter. Okay? So, these are the assessment findings. So, sabay ko na yung hypermagnesemia, ha? So, hypo muna. Hypomagnesemia manifested with or assessment findings for hypomagnesemia are the following: tachycardia, hypertension, shallow respirations, twitches, and paresthesias. So, mga muscles natin, pwede sa face. Positive trochus and Bostic signs as well. So, pareho kay calcium kanina. Pansin nyo, yung mga vitamins na nabibili, may kasama yan calcium and magnesium. Okay? So, magkasama sila. Okay. Hyperreflexia, tetany, and seizures. So, there's CNS irritability, confusion, okay, and a serum magnesium level again of less than 1.3. ECG changes, a tall T wave, and a depressed ST segment. Okay. For hypermagnesemia, there's baligtad. Okay, kabaligtaran lang. There's bradycardia, hypotension, and respiratory insufficiency when the skeletal muscles of respiration are involved. Diminished or absent deep tendon reflexes. So there can be skeletal muscle weakness, drowsiness, and lethargy that can progress to coma. And the serum magnesium level of more than 2.1 mg per liter. ECG findings, so kanina kung depressed ST segment, Yan, faulty wave. Yan. So, this one for hypermag, prolonged PR, and a widened QRS complex. Okay. Causes for insufficient magnesium intake. Okay, kulang sa magnesium kaya pala nag-hypomagnesemia. Malnutrition and starvation, kulang sa pagkain, vomiting or diarrhea, malabsorption, celiac disease, Crohn's disease. All will be discussed next semester. Increased magnesium excretion, especially with the use of diuretics, chronic alcoholism as well. And intracellular movement of magnesium due to hyperglycemia. Okay? So, pag mga diabetics. Okay? So, increase the intracellular movement of magnesium. Okay? Decrease pala, sorry. Intracellular movement of magnesium. So, insulin administration and steps. Okay, interventions. So, because hypocalcemia frequently accompanies hypomag, the interventions aims to restore the normal calcium level. So, pag nag-normalize si calcium, bit niya si magnesium. Okay? Oral preparations of magnesium may cause diarrhea and an increased magnesium loss. Yeah. Diba, OB, remember, pag nag-develop ng magnesium sulfate toxicity, ang inyong antidote is by giving calcium gluconate. Okay? So, para mailabas na para bumaba na yung magnesium levels in the blood.
Okay. So, konting review tayo with your OB. So, mag sulfate is being given to patients with eclampsia, 'di ba? So, kapag may eclampsia kasi hindi lang hypertension yung problema natin, but mas another anong tawag mo rito? Dangerous manifestation of eclampsia is its CNS effect. May seizure yung pasyente, 'di ba nagsi-seizure sila. So, we give magnesium sulfate. Now, as always, lalo na if you're going to give ano tawag diyan, IV medications, make sure i-check ninyo yung patency of the IV line. Okay, most especially ito, pag nagbigay kayo ng mag sulfate, why? Pwedeng masunog yung IV site ng pasyente as in burn, a chemical burn. So, yun yung tinatawag na infiltration. Kapag napunta outside of the blood vessel, yung gamot, so it can cause severe damage. I have seen a lot of patients na kita nyo, ang itim-itim nung paligid ng IV pinanggalingan, kasi definitely tatanggalin natin yan, yung pinanggalingan ng IV site. Okay? So, yung pala, ayan, nag-push ng mag-sulfate, lalo na if you are in an OB ward at nakakita kayo ng ganyan, madalas, kay almost 90-95% of the time, it's magnesium sulfate. Okay? When I was assigned at the OB ward sa government hospital, yan ang pinakaayaw kong ibigay kasi syempre, gobyerno yung ospital namin, di ba? Walang infusion pump yan. So, lalo na sa Fabella. Okay, although ang Fabella Hospital, napakaganda na ngayon. Mano-mano yung pagbibigay niyan. So, very slow, hindi lang slow, very slow IV push. Tapos massage ko pa yung kamay nung nanay kasi mahapdi. Ang init daw. Okay, ng pakiramdam kapag nag-IV push ng mag-sulfate. So, be very careful, be very gentle. Okay, dun sa pagbigay ng IV fluids natin. Alright? So, before, aside from checking the IV site, tawag mo dyan, kailangan check the IV site. So you also, wait, napuwi ko. Okay, hindi ako makakonsentrate, napuwi akong bigla. Okay, so you check the IV site if it is in. Okay, Pangalawa, check the blood pressure of your patient before giving the medication. And you check the deep tendon reflex. Okay? Why? A decreased or loss of your DTRs or your deep tendon reflex or reflexes, sa kadalasan ginagamit yung patellar reflex, means that the magnesium levels in the blood reaches the toxic level. Okay? So tumataas na yung ano tawag mo diyan, yung level sa blood ng magnesium. So sobrahan na. Okay? So yun ang nagiging natin indication. So pag ganyan, dalhin agad endorse agad sa doctor in charge, and then you start preparing calcium gluconate. Now, calcium gluconate is the antidote. Okay, the antidote for magnesium sulfate toxicity. Huwag niyong kakalimutan yan, ha? So, ayan, calcium gluconate is the antidote for magnesium sulfate or magnesium overdose. Kahit hindi mag-sulfate. Okay, kahit hindi magnesium sulfate ang ibibigay ninyo, basta nagbigay ng magnesium, i-check. Alright? There's this form of an antacid, si magnesium hydroxide. Meron kasing aluminum hydroxide, may magnesium hydroxide. So si magnesium hydroxide, pwede rin, antacid yan ha, sa ulcer. Pwede rin yan mag-cause ng magnesium toxicity or magnesium overdose. Alright? So sa pharma ninyo, so yan, kapag nasobrahan naman, the side effect of administration of magnesium, ito lagi yung tinatandaan ko, MD. Okay? MD. Magnesium, ang side effect niya, diarrhea. Yung aluminum naman, so kung si magnesium diarrhea, of course, si aluminum, yung kabaligtaran. Okay? Nagko-constipate naman. Okay? So kaya ang ginawa dyan, pinagsama to lessen the chance of overdose at saka yung occurrence of the side effects. May aluminum magnesium hydroxide tayong antacids. Maybe you've seen it sa commercials. Okay, si Kreml S is si methicone. So may Almag. Pag narinig niyo, ma'am, pabigyan ng Almag. That's aluminum magnesium hydroxide, pang gastritis, pang GERD, pang ulcer. Okay, pang gastric ulcer. Alright, so since may magnesium yon, babantayan pa rin natin yung pasyente. Okay? So yan. But for pure magnesium administration, alam niyo meron akong nakikita online, naririnig ko na rin, I think Ma'am Gonyo, may magnesium spray. I am not so sure. This is non-pharmacologic, meaning hindi ninyo iinumin. Ni-spray over an inflamed joint, pang pang arthritis, pang masasakit sa katawan na bibili sa parang sa Padre Pio, meron yata yan. Basta usually ang naririnig ko, mga healing priests, yung nag-advocate nito, kay yung magnesium sprays. Sabi sa mga testimonies, effective daw. So I'm not so sure about that, pero again, marami na eh. So hindi ko lang sigurado up to now is if it is FDA approved. Anyways, topical lang naman siya. Para siyang, kumbaga parang alcohol, parang ganon. So liquid lang. So magnesium spray. So you will be spraying it directly over the affected area. Okay? So yan ang mga nice to know facts. Okay? What else? Hindi ako makapagputol kanina ng slide. For calcium, to enhance calcium absorption, you need vitamin D. Okay? So again, vitamin D will be coming from, ang laging naririnig, from the sun. Okay? So hindi bumababa, I think sinabi ko sa inyo to sa biochem or sa anatomy, hindi bumababa galing sa araw ang vitamin D. the UV rays from the sun, okay, from the sun will now trigger the conversion of the inactive form of vitamin D on our skin. Meron tayong mga inactive forms niyan, nasa dermis. Okay? So, kapag na-expose kaya nagbibilad ng mga bata sa araw, 'di ba? O OB again, pedia. So the reason why is that yung again, yung UV rays from the sun will trigger the formation of vitamin D, the conversion rather to active form of vitamin D. So, para makatulong sa calcium absorption ng baby natin. So, in order to make their bones stronger. And at the same time, yung conversion ng bilirubin. Okay? So, para kasi, di ba, during the first week of life, hanggang day 10, pwedeng lumabas yung physiologic jaundice ng bata, maninilaw siya, di ba? So, normal yon, physiologic. But, if the jaundice appeared with of birth of the baby, pathologic yon. So, ibig sabihin, posibleng may bleeding. Didiscuss natin yan sa semifinals, yan yung topic natin sa HEMA. Okay? So, huwag niyong kakalimutan yan, ha? Kasi sa HEMA, meron namang magka-partner, si iron at saka si vitamin C. Eto, si vitamin D at saka si magnesium. Okay? So, si calcium pala, sorry, si calcium. Si calcium and si magnesium naman, kung meron kayong mga vitamins galing sa States or mga nabili nyo sa kunyari sa Landers or sa like sa SNR, yung mga malalaking or in-order nyo online, mapapansin niyo may vitamin preparation na calcium and magnesium. So these two vitamins are not vitamins pala, these two minerals rather, by the way, hindi sila vitamins, ha. These two minerals are being taken for our bone health. Ulitin ko, ang vitamins lang, vitamin A, D, E, K, vitamin C, and the vitamin Bs. Okay? Tapos natin sa biochem yan. Alam ko, tinuro ko yan sa inyo. So the water and the fat-soluble vitamins. Labas ng mga water and fat-soluble vitamins, those are minerals. Okay? So, kasama lang sila doon sa tablet preparation that is being labeled as multivitamins. So, kasi maraming vitamins na nandun, including the minerals. Okay? So, dapat alam niyo yan, ha? Third year na kayo. So, you know how to properly classify, okay, these things. Okay? So, sa people kasi alam nila vitamins, but you are not a lay person already. Okay? You know a lot already by now. Third year na kayo. So, medyo, alam nyo na, matalino na kayo. Okay, matured na nga kayo di ba? So, malaking pinagbago nyo mula first year. So, I know na marami na rin kayong alam. Okay? Kanina, yung regarding the seizure precautions, natutunan ko siya sa updates. Okay, sa updates when I reviewed for the NCLEX. So yun ngayon. Okay? So hindi na tayo gumagamit ng padded tongue depressor because it could further injure either the tongue or the teeth of the patient. You just have to turn the head of the patient to one side, okay, para mag-drain yung secretions, okay, in order to have the saliva, okay, drain toward the side of the patient. Why? Kasi pag nag-seizure, so pwedeng mag-aspirate yung pasyente. Pwede niyang malulon, mapunta sa baga yung secretions niya. So, ganun lang. And then, during a seizure episode, for whatever cause, okay, during a seizure episode, what happens is that there is sustained muscular contraction. So, what happens? The blood vessels becomes constricted, naiipit ng contracting muscle. So, therefore, oxygen delivery to the brain is also affected. That's the reason why we have to time the seizure. Okay? If it lasted for more than 2 minutes, medyo delikado sa pasyente yan. Why? Tissue hypoxia will result. Brain injury can result because of lack of oxygen supply. So kaya after a seizure, bukod sa nakatagilid yung ulo, anong mapapansin ninyo na ginagawa? Bibigyan ng oxygen, a low dose oxygen. So regulate mga 2 to 3 liters per minute via nasal cannula. Alright? So, ganun yung ginagawa para ma-replenish yung oxygen levels in the blood of your patient. Oxygen levels will be very, very important. Okay? Kasi, of course, dapat nakadikit yan dun sa hemoglobin natin. So, to be transported to the different cells of the body, very sensitive yung mga cells natin to oxygen level. Pag nawalan ng oxygen tayo, okay, for more than 3 minutes, you can have irreversible brain damage already. Okay? So, yan siya. Okay, what else? Okay, so sige, so mamaya na yung iba. Alright. Teka lang ha, maalala ko lang. Okay, for the laboratory values, subukan kong hanapin. Meron akong table ng mga laboratory values Share ko lang sa inyo para kung magre-review kayo at saka kung sa course audit ninyo next year, you have something to read. Hanapin ko, nasa file ko yon. Okay, naka-table na siya, the different laboratory values. Okay, the normal values. Okay, so that's I think this is the last one for the magnesium. Okay, and the next one will be phosphorus. Okay, by the way, fluids and electrolytes. So, bakit sila magkasama? Dinidiscuss. In a solution, you have a solvent, which is a dissolving medium. It can either be water or it can be alcohol. Biochem, if you remember experiment on lipids, fats and water are immiscible. Lipids and water are immiscible. Hindi sila pwedeng maghalo, hindi pwedeng ma-dissolve ni water si fats. Okay? So, dun sa experiment, if you remember, 2 years ago, imagine that was 2 years ago na, no? 2 years ago, ano ang nakatunaw doon sa fats na pinatak ninyo doon sa solution na yon? It is alcohol. Okay? So, solvents can either be water or alcohol. Basta it is the dissolving medium. Alright. Now, particles that are suspended within the solvent are called as solutes. And in this case, ito yung mga solutes. Phosphorus, magnesium, calcium, yan. That are imia. If you see that term, the suffix imia, blood, it means blood. Okay? So, let us now proceed with hypophosphatemia naman. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, hypophosphatemia, phosphates or phosphorus, letter P naman yung chemical symbol niya, di ba? Normal value, 3.0 to 4.5 milligrams per deciliter. So, hypo, below 3. Okay. Decrease in serum phosphorus level accompanied by an increase in the serum calcium level. Tandaan, baligtad sila. Again, parang sodium and potassium. So, kapag mababa si phosphate sa dugo, mataas naman si calcium. Saan ang common food sources natin? Dairy products, fish, nuts, pork, beef, chicken, and organ meats, pumpkin, squash, whole grain breads, and cereals. Okay, causes malnutrition and starvation. So this causes insufficient phosphorus intake, increased phosphorus excretion like hyperparathyroidism. Okay? In hyperparathyroidism, may hypercalcemia. Okay? So again, dahil sa yung PTH causes calcium to go out of the bone. So pag mataas ang blood calcium, bababa si phosphorus. Okay? Malignancy, the use of magnesium base or aluminum hydroxide base antacids. And intracellular shift in hypergly, and respiratory alkalosis. Okay. An intracellular shift. Pag mataas si blood sugar, si glucose, papasok si phosphorus sa blood. Okay. Findings, shallow respirations, decreased contractility and cardiac output, slowed peripheral pulses, muscle weakness, decreased deep tendon reflexes, decreased bone density, okay, that can cause fractures, and alterations in bone shape, and rhabdomyolysis. So ano ba itong si rhabdomyolysis? Right, ano lang to, pahapyaw lang ha. Rhabdomyolysis is a condition in which damaged skeletal muscle breaks down rapidly often due to high intensity exercise over a short period of time. Okay, so ano ba yung mga manifestations natin ng rhabdomyolysis? Muscle pain, okay, weakness, vomiting, and may